Where to invest in Sudbury? Some places are just too expensive and you can't cash flow. Other places, the numbers look great. It looks like you have amazing cash flow, cheap properties, but you're in our ghetto. So you get a lot of more tenant issues and that cash flow disappears very quickly when you have a tenant that's not paying. So where are the best places in Sudbury to invest? Where you have the most bang for your buck, affordable housing, and you can attract good tenants. In this video, I'm gonna show you 3 of the best places in Sudbury that you can invest, where you can have good tenants, decent cash flow, and the prices of the houses are cheap enough where it makes sense financially. I'm Tristan Ritchie from Lake City Realty, and I make educational videos on Sudbury investing in our real estate market. If you get any type of value from this video or any of my past video, please like, subscribe, and comment. I would really appreciate it. It truly helps. So let's get right into the video. So I'll start with this overview of Sudbury. My number 1 place that you can invest, well, this isn't the best, but it is the first one on the list that I'm going to talk about, are the outskirts. You have a little bit more bang for your buck, so the houses are a little bit cheaper. So you have Val Thérèse out here. The Valley is what you hear often. Over here to the left, you have Chelmsford, and then a little closer around this lake here, Whitewater Lake, you have Azilda. So those are 3 good places to invest because in Sudbury, our outskirts aren't really that far. From way out here in Hanmer to Costco, that's right around here, 15 minutes. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. Everyone that lives in these outskirts, most of them have vehicles. They're used to making payments. I rarely hear of issues with tenants in the outskirts. You get a little bit more bang for your buck out there. Like I was saying, you can get great rents. The rents are a tad lower, but not much. I got another video that you can watch on my YouTube channel that shows you different rental properties for different prices. So the outskirts right here, there's also, if you look over here, there's Nickel Center. So there's Wanapate and Coniston, also good. And then to the left, zoom in a little bit, you got Lively, which is actually quite expensive. A lot of younger families are moving out there. Again, from there to the Walmart in the South End, 10 minutes. It's nothing. For us, that is not a big deal. Okay, so that's number 1 on the list. Number 2, let's zoom in a little bit here. So if you know anything about Sudbury, you know that the South End here is extremely expensive. You are not gonna cash flow in the South End anymore. You're buying a house, it's likely owner occupied, or you're okay losing money because you wanna invest in a great area. So all this right here is the West End. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit right here. So you have all these, Gatchel, I'm sure you've heard of that. Then you have over here, which is the West End. And then up here you probably heard Little Britain. That's this area here. So why is that a good area to invest in? You get good bang for your buck. It's because a lot of them are older homes. So a few of them are a little bit smaller, but you do have some bigger properties as well. These older homes, they have often poured foundations. They're very solid builds. And they're in the older area. That's when we were just a mining town, so they built a lot of little bunkers for the people that were working in the mines. Now they've been upgraded over time. They look a little bit better, but it's still a medium area. So I call it a B area in terms of tenants. The reason I call it a B area is because it's very mixed. So you have some people that have been living there forever. They take very good care of their home. You can tell it's a 60, 70, 80-year-old. They just love their neighborhood, love their home, and it's a beautiful place. But then you have a couple doors over, you'll have a slum landlord that has a property that's not well maintained, kind of looks bad. They probably don't have some great tenants in there. It's more affordable. So you have that difference. That difference is going to make it so that you can have a better bang for your buck when you're investing there, because the houses are a little bit cheaper in that area, but you can still attract good tenants. So people aren't afraid to live in this area. They don't mind. It's close to everything, close to town, and you actually get some nice properties there. If you have a nice product, you'll attract a good tenant. So again, good bang for your buck in the West End. A few streets are more expensive than others, like Gatchel is a tad cheaper than this area right here, and even a tad cheaper than up here. And then a few of the streets, like Sandra up here, and there's one right here, White and McNeil. Those are very expensive streets. White here, yeah, Ethelbert, McNeil. So those are very expensive streets. And then there's some of these closer to downtown. Again, good bang for your buck. So that's the second area. The third area that I want to mention is over here. I'm sure you've heard it. It's Minnow Lake. If you're investing in Sudbury or moving to Sudbury, you've probably heard of this area. So it spans, Minnow Lake is a funny area. This is actually Minnow Lake right here. This tiny lake. Barely any flow into it, so you don't swim in this lake. But basically the area spans from right here all the way over to here. So all of this is Middle Lake. And the reason it's a good place to invest in is because it's, again, very mixed. A lot of the older style homes, 30s, 40s, 50s builds, solid places, but there's mixed into some newer neighborhoods. Like there's some brand new homes here, very, very expensive. Around here, there's some nicer homes, a little bit newer. There's a brand new subdivision over here. And these are the areas right here where you can get the older homes with more bang for your buck. Right here as well, close to bus routes. And then this area as well, there's a few streets over here that are great. Middle Lake is the same concept. A lot of people are talking about Middle Lake because it's a little bit better than the West End. I would call it a B+ area. And like I said, there's a few areas in there that are A+. You just can't go wrong. Brand new houses, $1 million. So it's a good place to invest in. So because I mentioned those three, it's because they are the most bang for your buck. So if you're looking for a cash flowing asset where you can get good tenants, those are the places you're gonna look. There's a few other places that you can check out in Sudbury. So if you're working with an expert, feel free to reach out to our team. We'd love to help you out. I can show you a few of those. And then here, ideally, the other place that honorable mention, part of New Sudbury. New Sudbury is our second most expensive area of Sudbury, and it's actually the largest as well. All of this. There's this area, Nickeldale, which is, I call entry-level New Sudbury. The reason I call it entry-level New Sudbury is because, again, the older homes, and you can get more bang for your buck. It's not quite as prestigious as living in these other areas. That is it for today. That is the 3 areas in Sudbury that are probably your best bet to invest in if you're looking for cash flow. If you're looking for the best areas in Sudbury and you find a gem in those other areas, great, that's amazing. And our team would love to help you find that. So reach out to me at any time, DM, like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.